Okay, welcome back to the studio. Thought today it would be nice if we painted a little scrub jay. It's a cute little bird, lives out in the west here, flits around from tree to tree. They're not mean and nasty like a blue jay. They're just a cute little bird that we see all the time out here. So I've gone ahead and made a quick sketch of that bird, and we're going to just jump right in. Before I go, I should say, you notice I didn't put any of the scrub in the bottom. We'll handle that as we get to it. It will be easy. We're just going to get going. So I like to start by painting eyes. I'm just going to get a little bit of color on my brush real quickly. Put this down. Here we go. Just about there. I do like to take a little bit of time with the eyes. You've probably heard me say it before. The eyes are really what sets the whole mood of the animal that you're painting. So take that little bit of time with it. This guy looks to be a little bit inquisitive, it looks like here. I'm just using a little cobalt blue to start with here. Lots of the desert animals don't have the most brightly colored plumage and whatnot, so I don't want to make him too bright. I think the cobalt is probably a pretty good candidate for that. Alright, I just want to take this right around. Also, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know I advocate leaving just a little mark of white around the eye to help it stand out just ever so slightly. You don't have to do that. There's nothing that says that my way of doing that's better than anything else. I've kind of found from some experience that it helps to make that really stand out. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of this gray color right in around here. He's got a little bit of patch of white under his chin. Down there. Let's see, he's got some blue. Whoa, that's too much blue. He's got some more blue that comes in and right down his wing. I'm just going to drop in some color like this. Alright, and down here, I'm going to work to kind of a tan color. It's still gray, but it works in some tan shades in there. I'm going to put a little bit of blue on that side. These birds are really nice because they have a lot of, this color just flows from one to another on these. There's no, I feel like if I paint one of these, I should say it this way, I'm not bound to paint in the lines. You know, they've got so many colors that go all over, right? Blue and brown and blue and black and gray. They're so nice. So I really I like painting these because I can just go with whatever I think. Don't feel bound by some picture and a bunch of lines that I've put on my paper. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It always makes me paint a little bit freer and a little bit easier. Probably makes my paintings a little bit better when I do that. Okay, his breast down here is pretty white, pretty light. I'm going to do that with a really light brown, a tan or a taupe or something. I think it's just a mix excuse me, of Van Dyke brown and raw umber. I'm just going to take that all the way up here. I'm just going to barely touch that line. If I get a little bit of mixing in there, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't want to see any white in there though. And I'm going to make it just a little darker while I'm here. Right down here. That's our little shadow, of course. Not of course, but it is. That's in our tail. And I'm just going to run our tail out to the end for right now. We'll fix it later if we need to. I'm going to re-wet this in the center here, just ever so slightly. I think I don't have quite enough color in here. It looks too light compared to the rest of the bird. So if I just dab on a little bit and take it back off, I think we're going to be okay. I know, that's a big no-no. Everybody says you shouldn't do it. Yeah. Of course, lots of the famous artists got famous by breaking rules that everybody else said you can't do, you shouldn't do that. That's a big no-no. So I don't particularly worry too much about it if I end up doing something that I'm not supposed to really do. Okay, I'm going to drop some legs in there. And real quickly on his beak. And we're ready for our sky area behind him and our reeds, or not reeds, our sagebrush, our brush underneath him. So I've got mixed up here a nice blue-gray color. Let me see. And I'm just going to use that up here as our sky. I need a little bit more blue in there. I don't want too much blue. That's good, that's better. Just going really close to him there. I don't really want to touch him, but I don't want to leave a white mark. So I'm being a little careful. And again, I'm just blocking in some color real fast. I'm not worried at this moment about getting anything exactly perfect. First of all, I don't exactly know what perfect is. But we're going to block in some color, and you'll see that in a second we're going to come up from the bottom with a little raw umber and burnt sienna, and we're going to let these two mix where they meet. Let me get a lot more of this, and that's going to be the basis for a lot of our sage or brush or whatever we want to call it underneath there. There we go. I'm going to have to come in with a little smaller brush and dab that area. I want some back here and some just in front of him. I don't want this big pile of water right in the middle, so I'm going to dab some of that out. You see our color is mixed up and down. Everything's going right around that bird. It looks really good. You just need to let this dry for a second. You all haven't seen it, but I do have a dryer out here. Let me pause the video and I'm going to start the dryer and dry this off real quick. Okay, here we are. We're back. Everything's dry. I'm going to come back in and start by putting a few details on our bird. I'm going to give him a few feathers up here. You've probably heard me say it before. We don't need a lot of detail. We just need enough to make it believable. Who's ever viewing this, their mind's eye, will fill in a lot of details for us if we just allow them to. So we're going to do everything we can to let them do that for themselves. Let's see, I got some pin feathers or some flight feathers in here. Not too many of them. I think I just went below the line. I didn't want to do that. It's alright, we'll just scrub it out a little bit. Not a big deal. I'm wondering what paintbrush I have here. This is not working the way I want it to. Let's see, let me change real quick. Alright, we need, I'm going to extend these up a little bit. You do it this way, it's a little easier for you to see. Got some feathers up here. I want to get some around his eye. There we go. And all these little feathers, all these little marks are really going to help to set this bird off. We don't need a lot on here. We just need enough, like I said, to make it a believable bird. Who's ever looking at this, their eye is going to do a lot of the believing for them. Alright, and I'm going to put a little bit more on his beak. Maybe just something like that. We have only one other thing we need to tackle. That's our scrub brush in the bottom here. We're going to do that with, I think I'm going to use a rigger. What size rigger do I have here? I've got a number 2 rigger. I'm going to go into my burnt umber and raw sienna and make, oops, I'm going to do it this way. Make some reeds. Actually, I'm going to fill in some of this a little bit more. I'm going to use a bigger brush. I'm going to get some of the bigger reeds in here and squiggles. I want to go over this. I don't want it to be all the same color, but I do want it to be similar colors to what we have on our palette already. I'm going to draw in a little bit of the brown that we're already using, or the gray that we're already using. It's really going to help to set it off. Now that we've got some in there, I'm going to come back, throw some bigger lines in there. You're going to see it's going to end up looking like he's sitting on a big patch of weeds. Right there. Now, we've got some of these. I'm just going to put almost like some petals on here. On a few of these. That might have been a bit much. I'll just start that one again. That one's going to go way out, it looks like. There we go. Looks like the wind is blowing. There we go. For anybody who had lost a little of faith there, thinking that our picture had taken a turn for the worse, I hope you're disappointed in your thinking now, because when it's all said and done, what we're going to end up with is something that looks pretty nice. I'm just going to fill in a little bit down here at the bottom. Looks a little too empty. If you're putting it in a frame, you're going to cut this bottom off. It's all good. You wouldn't need to do this. But without a frame, it looks a little bit empty. Anyways, there we are. There's our scrub jay sitting in some scrub, looking around, trying to find a meal, it looks like. I don't know. Anyways, if you liked the video, hit the like button or subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Hope to see you back here next time. Alright, thanks.